Cybersecurity sounds exciting. It sounds fantastic, right? You start thinking about it, you're punching on keyboard, you're going through the process until you start applying for the jobs, where you quickly start to realize that the path that everyone told you to follow doesn't actually get you hired the way you thought it was. And I think one of the biggest proponents of that is the job market. A lot of people jump in and they hear millions of cybersecurity jobs. They hear 3.5 million cybersecurity jobs worldwide, and that number is astronomical, and it's true. You see all the articles about it. You see that it's growing. It's actually, I think, 3.6 now. It's just continuing to grow. There's this giant gap in these jobs. But the reality is a little bit different. The reality is that entry-level cybersecurity jobs are oversaturated. There's probably 5 to 10 applicants for every job, every single time. And so, yes, the jobs are there, but no, the time of you just throwing down a resume in cybersecurity and just getting hired because you know how to turn a computer on, it's gone. It's past, right? They've got boot camps out now. They've got college degrees on it. They have IT degrees on it. You got people that joined the military and they got hands-on experience doing it, right? And so it's got this giant ball of people that are all jumping into this field. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that you need to up your game. So look, while you're going through this, I want you to write this down, okay? There's a shortage of experienced talent, not beginners. Now, this means two things. One, if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, yeah, it's a little bit harder to get into the cybersecurity field. I've never said that it hasn't, right? It definitely is. But once you're in, once you're doing it for a year, you're golden. You've got the experience to back it up. It's just, you got to take that first step. You got to get your hand into the water and start that pathway. If you could do that, you'd be good to go, right? So again, shortage of experienced talent, not beginners, right? Entry level is overly saturated. I think the next one I want to touch on is certifications. Certifications alone are not going to get you hired. It used to be 10 years ago. I knew this lady. She went out, she got CISP, and she was super excited about it. Took her 3 times, no background in IT. She met the 2 domains barely, but she met them, right? And she went off and she got CISP. And then within 2 weeks, she ended up getting a job at $90,000 a year. Ladies and gentlemen, that does not happen anymore. It doesn't. A lot of people used to think, me as well, that CISP was this great certification that basically meant that you knew cybersecurity. And it used to have this really giant, placeholder where everybody's like, it's the golden standard of cybersecurity. It is the best of the best when it comes to blue teaming. And since then, having seen the boot camps, having seen the people that are in it, I got to tell you, I don't think that way anymore. Now, I just think CISP is an overinflated ego trip for Security Plus. It's more about, do I understand the English language and Security Plus? That's all it is. It's not a difficult exam. It's a difficult exam in the fact that you have to, navigate the English language. It's not a difficult exam in the fact that the principles for it and Security Plus are almost tied in with each other. And so when it comes to certifications and people thinking, oh, I could just go get a certification and get hired, that is a very outdated line of thought. It doesn't exist anymore. I would challenge somebody to tell me that it does in the last year or two. I really would. If you've gotten a job in the last 2 years with just certifications, no experience, no hands-on technology, no formal education, you just went out and got a couple certifications, you got a job, throw it in the comments below. I want to know, because I don't think it's happened. As a matter of fact, I wish I could gamble, because I would say it hasn't happened, and I'd want proof, but I don't see it happening, right? Employers right now, they care about skill. They do. The hiring manager wants to know that you can do the job. And they can be picky about it. It's not just credentials anymore, right? So yes, you need credentials. You need Security Plus. Almost every job requires it now. I don't agree with it. I think Security Plus is not even a real cybersecurity certification. I really don't, right? But it is that point in certifications where you're starting to move forward, right? But you got to have it. You do. So certs will get you past HR, but they're not going to get you hired. It's not going to get you hired, okay? And I know there's people out there and they swear by these different certifications that come and go, but I'm not a believer. I think certifications are a class just like anything else. I think that you can take it. As long as you can memorize some skills and you can memorize some proponents, then yeah, it's all that great. And maybe I'm just getting senile in my old age, but a lot of the things that I used to believe for certifications just doesn't ring true anymore. I think they're perfect for helping you get where you need to go, but I don't think there's any certification out there, and even OSCP, that is going to prove to me that you have the skills. It just doesn't, because there's so much training involved that walks you through what the certification actually teaches that I just don't believe it anymore. Okay, I don't. I'm sorry. All right, let's move on. Entry-level jobs aren't actually entry-level. We've talked about this before. A lot of them are requiring 2 to 3 years of experience. They want tools, they want frameworks, they want scripting. Now, we've broken this down in a video before that you can utilize old experience to kind of showcase that knowledge to what's going on to help you be competitive in that job market. I've 100% done that, right? But what companies really want nowadays is they want that familiarity with that security incident and event manager, that tool. They want incident response basics. They want networking fundamentals, right? So entry-level cybersecurity often means that they want you to have some mid-level IT skills first. Now, you can get that from certifications. You can get that from college, but more often than not, where are you getting it from? You're getting it from building your own residential lab, your own home lab, your own projects that are going through it. And so I think that's key. I think the key point when you're looking for those entry-level positions is you really want to concentrate on projects at your house. You want to set up that home lab. You want to go through VirtualBox. You want to go through VMware. You want to set up some Windows devices. You want to set up a Kali box. You want to set up your own Waza, your own Splunk, your own market, right? You really want to do that on your own machine. And I think this is where a lot of students kind of get a little bit upset, is because when you start spinning up 5, 6 different VMs, even if it's only one Windows box, right? Even if you decide to forego the Windows box, you're talking about processing speed and RAM, and a lot of people just don't have those computers. And this is why I just kind of go through and I say, you know what, if you're getting into cybersecurity and you're really serious about it, you need to buy a gaming computer. You really do. You just kind of need to break down and buy a gaming computer. You need 32 gigabytes of RAM minimum. You need a processor that's got some threads on it. You need to be able to spin up multiple VMs simultaneously in order to have this home lab set up to where you can actually practice on it. And a lot of people, when they start looking at this, they naturally start to gravitate towards VulnHub. They start naturally progressing towards those red teaming activities. And I get that. And it's a lot more fun. There's walkthrough there. But take it one step further. Start looking at it and going, you know what? I'm going to do red teaming, but I'm going to do it in my home lab so I can see what Splunk is saying, so I can see what Waza is saying, so I can see what all these other devices are saying as I'm going through that process. Spin up Wireshark on your Kali box as you're performing those attacks and go through it, right? All of that matters. And if you can start to do that, you can start to pinpoint it. If you're knocking out a red teaming lab in less than an hour, you're doing it wrong. You're 100% doing it wrong. Yes, I think you should 100% find a cheat sheet and walk through it, especially if you're learning it through the first time. But when you do an attack, even if it's something as simple as Nmap, go through, what does Wireshark look like? What does Waza say? What are all these different lab components say as you're going through and trying to hack into this box, even if you're following a walkthrough? Pay attention to it. Go on ChatGPT and give it screenshots. Go and find different courses that kind of offer that little bit of understanding. Start small and work your way up. Because a lot of cybersecurity is that adventurous mind that comes through it and says, you know what, I want to learn this. I want to go through it. All right, I'm going to do my affiliate link. And again, I'm completely different than what I normally do. I'm actually going to hold it up, right? I'm holding up the book. I don't know if you can see it. Where's my ugly face? All right, we'll put it over here. All right, I can't hold up my camera. All right, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Matt Denneman. I read this book. I am absolutely amazed by it. The link is going to be in my affiliates below if you want to purchase it through Amazon. It's like $22 on sale. I got the hardback. Actually, the paperback is more expensive. This book right here is fantastic. I have never been so entertained in my entire life. I normally don't go off and do something non-cyber for affiliates, but I am going to do it this way. If you haven't read Dungeon Crawler Carl yet, you're missing out. It is a fantastic book. And no, I don't think you should do 24/7 of cyber. Everybody's got to go through it. Check it out. It's a fantastic book. All right, moving on. Most people are targeting the same 3 roles on all of their resumes, and I think this is it goes right back into applying. They're targeting SOC analyst, penetration tester, and maybe security engineer, right? There's a massive competition because YouTube has boot camps on SOC analyst, pen tester, and security engineer. Meanwhile, why aren't you looking at GRC? Why aren't you looking at government risk and compliance? Why aren't you looking at those audited? Why aren't you looking at CMMC 2.0? Why aren't you looking at these positions that a lot of people just don't want to do? A lot of these positions like GRC, like third-party risk, like IAM. IAM is fantastic, right? Start looking at those positions that aren't so hit on. Start looking at those positions. And I know somebody's going to go, oh, well, you know, IAM, that's not dealing with cloud. So Detail your resume. The goal is not to do what everybody else is doing. The goal is to go somewhere else. Now, I concentrate on SOC a lot, because that's where my knowledge is. That's where I've messed around a lot of my time with, right? GRC is a lot harder to kind of go through and do YouTube videos on, but it is definitely a great place to start, especially if you're a career changer. So if you're struggling because you're unqualified, maybe you're competing where everyone else is. Maybe instead of competing where everybody else is going, maybe you should kind of side straddle, go in a different lane. Still cybersecurity, you can still touch it, but a lot of great people start off right there. And there's some great certifications that go with it as well. All right, last one. People who break in do one thing differently. They don't just learn, they prove, right? They build a home lab. They analyze traffic. We went over this already, right? They document findings publicly. Go through that. Build your cheat sheet. Medium offers a great place where you can post an article. Start posting an article. Start making yourself widely known out there. Do a YouTube video on it. Go through and say, I'm in it to win it. I'm going to start through it. If you can show me how you think, I don't care where you learned it. Nobody does, right? If that's through a college degree, fantastic. If it's through Holmes Labs, fantastic, right? Market yourself. Start setting yourself up for success. Start going through that process. I think if you can do that, you'll be successful in cybersecurity. I really do. And I think that applying that way and breaking into cybersecurity is a lot easier when you do it that way.